On today's Daily Strike, the Lightning are shut out for the second straight game as they lose 2-0 to the Maple Leafs. This is the latest news and notes on the Tampa Bay Lightning for Tuesday, December 9th, 2025. I'm Steve Versnick. The Lightning were in Toronto to begin a 4-game road trip on Monday night. The Bolts came out firing. They outshot Toronto 15-10 in the first period, but it was the Maple Leafs who scored late in the first as Morgan Rielly got one on the rush. The Maple Leafs would add an empty netter with 0.6 seconds left in the game to win it 2-0. It's the second straight game the Lightning have been shut out. Head coach Jon Cooper.
A little unfortunate for us, especially because we've been playing pretty well and unfortunately losing. And tonight I thought we took a step back, honestly. It was a little disappointing, especially the desperation level we should have after dropping 3 straight. And, thought it was a winnable game, and turned out it wasn't.
Zemgus Girgensons.
I mean, it's tough. Losing 4 in a row is never easy. It's more about just us finding another gear and, just getting out of this rut.
Jonas Johansson was in net for the third straight game with Andrei Vasilevskiy still out. He made 22 saves.
I feel good. I try to, stay in the moment and just do my best, give it my all every night. So that's just my focus personally.
Nikita Kucherov returned to the lineup after missing Saturday night's game. Brayden was also activated off injured reserve after missing the last 7 games. He had 4 shots on goal and played nearly 19 minutes. Victor Hedman ties Borje Salming for the 6th most games played by a Swedish-born player in NHL history at 1,148 games. Now, the Bolts lost in regulation for the first time this season in the first half of a back-to-back. They moved to 4-1-1 in those games. Tonight will be the second half of the back-to-back in Montreal. The Lightning are 2-2-1 so far this season in second games. With those consecutive shutouts, the Lightning have not scored a goal in its last 128 minutes and 16 seconds of game time. Dave Mishkin and Greg Linelli will recap last night's game against Toronto and look ahead to tonight's game against Montreal on Lightning Power Lunch presented by Reef Rum. It airs at noon Eastern. You can watch the show at Facebook, X, and YouTube. Listen live in the Lightning mobile app or download the podcast in your favorite app and listen anytime. The Lightning are in Montreal as they play the Canadiens tonight for the second half of this back-to-back. It's the first of 4 meetings this season between the teams. Last year, the Bolts went 1-2 versus the Canadiens. Tampa Bay has lost 4 straight games and is still in first place in the Atlantic Division with 34 points. Montreal lost to St. Louis on Sunday. They're in third place with 33 points. With the back-to-back, Brandon Halverson could be in net. It would be his second career NHL start. Puck drop scheduled for 7:08 p.m. Eastern tonight. Our radio pregame coverage starts at 6:30 on 102.5 The Bone and in the Lightning mobile app. The game will be televised on The Spot, Tampa Bay, Channel 66. Gabby Shirley and Ben Pierce have an all-new Into the Blue podcast out, presented by Penelope Bourbon. They discuss this 4-game road trip for the Bolts, Jonas Johansson's great play this season, and the holiday shopping event that the team participated in last week, and so much more. You can watch the show on Facebook, X, and YouTube, or download the audio in your favorite podcast app and listen anytime.
This day in Lightning history.
It was on this date in 2021.
Back Bourne across the blue line to the right point. Protects it. Right circle. He is checked. But the puck flips to Stamkos. High slot shot. Score! What a bomb from Stamkos!
Stamkos would have 4 points on the night as the Lightning beat the Maple Leafs 5-3. It was Jon Cooper's 400th win, making him the 39th coach ever to reach that mark. He was the fastest ever to do so in just 659 games. That's 4 games faster than Bruce Boudreau. The Lightning made a trade on Monday. They sent defenseman Roman Schmidt to the Flyers in exchange for defenseman Ethan Sampson. Sampson's a 6'3", 205-pound defenseman that played in 142 career AHL games. He had 15 goals and 40 points in those games. Sampson was a 6th-round pick in the 2021 NHL Draft. Congratulations to Lightning prospect Sam O'Reilly. He's been named to the 2026 World Juniors training camp roster for Team Canada. He was acquired from Edmonton for Isaac Howard this past summer. Come to the Pepsi Porch at Benchmark International Arena this Saturday, December 13th from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. for our Lightning Locker Room sale. You can purchase game-worn gear, used equipment, apparel, and more. All proceeds benefit the Lightning Foundation. Thank you for listening to The Daily Strike for Tuesday, December 9th, 2025. I'm Steve Versnick, where every day is Hockey Day.